I will now read the address of the President of India, which she had delivered last evening. She said, and I will now quote, "Address to the nation by the President of India, Srimati Draupadi Murmu, on the eve of Republic Day 2024. My dear fellow citizens, Namaskar. My heartiest greetings to all of you on the eve of 75th Republic Day. My heart is filled with pride when I look back and see how far we have travelled despite adversities. The 75th year of the Republic is truly a historic milestone in the journey of the nation in many ways. This is an especially festive occasion, just as we celebrated the unique greatness and diverse culture of our nation during Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav when we completed 75 years of independence. कल के दिन हम संविधान के प्रारंभ का उत्सव मनाएंगे। संविधान की प्रस्तावना हम भारत के लोग इन शब्दों से शुरू होती है। ये शब्द हमारे संविधान के मूल भाव अर्थात लोकतंत्र को रेखांकित करते हैं। भारत की लोकतांत्रिक व्यवस्था लोकतंत्र की पश्चिमी अवधारणा से कहीं अधिक प्राचीन है, इसलिए भारत को लोकतंत्र की जननी कहा जाता है। After a long and difficult struggle on 15th August 1947, India became free from the foreign rule. Yet the task of framing the principles and processes that would govern the country and unleash its true potential was still a work in progress. The Constituent Assembly spent nearly 3 years holding detailed discussions on all aspects of governance and produced the great founding document of our nation, the Constitution of India. Today, the nation gracefully remembers the leaders as well as officials who contributed to the framing of our splendid and inspiring Constitution. The nation is in the early years of Amrit Kaal, the period leading to the centenary of independence. This is the time of an epochal transformation. We are given a golden opportunity to take the country to new heights. Contribution from every citizen will be crucial to achieve our goals. For this, I will appeal to all my fellow citizens to abide by our fundamental duties enshrined in the Constitution. These duties are essential obligations of every citizen towards making Bharat a developed nation when it completes 100 years of independence. Here, I think of Mahatma Gandhi, who had rightly said, "No people have risen who thought only of rights. Only those did who thought of duties." My dear fellow citizens, Republic Day is an occasion to recall our foundational values and principles. When we contemplate any one of them, we are naturally guided to the rest. Democracy implies diversity of culture, belief and practices. Celebrating diversity implies equality, which is upheld by justice. Freedom is what makes it all possible. The totality of these values and principles is what makes us Indian. Guided by the sagacity of Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, the spirit of the Constitution imbued with these foundational values and principles has led us invariably on the path of social justice to put an end to all kinds of discrimination. मैं उल्लेख करना चाहूँगी कि सामाजिक न्याय के लिए अनवरत युद्धरत रहे श्री कर्पूरी ठाकुर जी की जन्म शताब्दी का उत्सव कल ही संपन्न हुआ है। कर्पूरी जी पिछड़े वर्गों के सबसे महान पक्षकारों में से थे, जिन्होंने अपना सारा जीवन उनके कल्याण के लिए समर्पित कर दिया था। उनका जीवन एक संदेश था। अपने योगदान से सार्वजनिक जीवन को समृद्ध बनाने के लिए मैं कर्पूरी जी को अपनी श्रद्धांजलि अर्पित करती हूँ। Earlier this week, we witnessed the historic consecration ceremony of idol of Prabhu Sri Ram in the glorious new temple constructed at his birthplace in Ayodhya. When this event will be seen in the wider perspective, the future historians will consider it a landmark in India's continued rediscovery of its civilizational heritage. The construction of the temple commenced after the due judicial process and the decision of the highest court of the land. Now it stands on the great edifice, giving a befitting expression not only of the people's faith, but also as a testament to people's enormous trust in the judicial process. My dear fellow citizens, our national festivals are momentous occasions when we together look back and look ahead. If we look at the year since the last Republic Day, there is much to be pleased about. The successful organization of the Group of 20 Summit in the capital under India's presidency was an unprecedented achievement. What was all the more noteworthy was the way the people were involved in the G20 events. The ideas and inputs traveled not downward from the top, but upward from the bottom. The magnificent event provided lessons for all in making citizen participants in strategic and diplomatic matters that are, in the final analysis, going to shape their own future. The G20 summit also boosted India's emergence as the voice of Global South, adding a necessary element to the international discourse. We also progressed further towards the ideal of gender equality when the Parliament passed the historic Women's Reservation Bill. I believe the Nari Shakti Vandan Adhiniyam will prove to be a revolutionary tool of women's empowerment. It will also go a long way in improving the process of our governance. When more women will be involved in the matter of collective importance, our administrative priorities will be more in tune with the needs of the masses. It was also the year when India went to the moon, becoming the first to land on the lunar South Pole region. After Chandrayaan-3, the Indian Space Research Organization rolled out a solar mission as well. Recently, Aditya L1 has successfully put into the Hello orbit. We begin the new year with the launch of our first X-ray polarimeter satellite called XPOSAT, which will study space mysteries like the black holes. My dear fellow citizens, India is moving ahead with confidence, which comes from and is also reflected by the robust health of the economy. Our GDP growth rate has remained the highest among top major economies in recent years, and we have all reasons to believe that this extraordinary performance will continue in the year 2024 and beyond. What I find particularly noteworthy is that same far-sighted planning that fuels the economy has also given a push to the welfare drive to make development inclusive in every sense of term. The government had increased the scope of schemes to provide free food to the weaker sections of society during the pandemic days. These measures were later continued to extend a helping hand to the vulnerable population to come out of the crisis. Expanding the scope of that initiative, the government has decided to provide free food grains to over 81 crore people for 5 years. This may be the biggest welfare initiative of its kind in history. Moreover, there have been a number of mission mode schemes to increase the ease of living for all citizens. The government has not only expanded and साथ ही सभी नागरिकों के जीवन यापन को सुगम बनाने के लिए अनेक समयबद्ध योजनाएं भी क्रियान्वित की जा रही हैं। घर में सुरक्षित और पर्याप्त पेयजल की उपलब्धता को से लेकर अपना घर होने के सुरक्षाजनक अनुभव तक, ये सभी बुनियादी न्यूनतम आवश्यकताएं हैं, न कि विशेष सुविधाएं। ये मुद्दे किसी भी राजनीतिक या आर्थिक विचारधारा से परे हैं और इन्हें मानवीय दृष्टिकोण से ही देखा जाना चाहिए। सरकार ने केवल जन कल्याण योजनाओं का विस्तार और संवर्धन ही नहीं किया है, अपितु जन कल्याण की अवधारणा को भी नया अर्थ प्रदान किया है। हम सभी उस दिन गर्व का अनुभव करेंगे जब भारत ऐसे कुछ देशों में शामिल हो जाएगा जहां शायद ही कोई बेघर हो। समावेशी कल्याण की सोच के साथ राष्ट्रीय शिक्षा नीति में डिजिटल विभाजन को पाटने और वंचित वर्गों में विद्यार्थियों के हित में समानता पर आधारित शिक्षा व्यवस्था के निर्माण को समुचित प्राथमिकता दी जा रही है। आयुष्मान भारत योजना के विस्तारित सुरक्षा कवच के तहत सभी लाभार्थियों को शामिल करने का लक्ष्य है। इस संरक्षण से गरीब और कमजोर वर्ग के लोगों में बहुत बड़ा विश्वास जगा है। Dear fellow citizens, in recent time, many conflicts have emerged around the world and several parts of it have been suffering from violence. When each of the two conflicting sides believe that it is the right and the other is wrong, the way out should be found in the light of reason. Unfortunately, instead of reason, fears and prejudices have fueled passions, leading to relentless violence. There have been a series of humanitarian tragedies on a large scale and deeply heavy over the human suffering. In such times, we recall Lord Buddha's word, Nahi Veren Verani Sammati Dheet Kudachanam Averan Cha Sammati As Dhammo Sanantano. It means not at any time are enmities appeased here through enmity, but they are appeased through non-enmity. This is the eternal law. From Vardhaman Mahavir and Samrat Ashok to the father of the nation Mahatma Gandhi, India has time and again shown that non-violence is not just an ideal, but may be difficult to achieve, but it is a distinct possibility. In fact, it is a lived reality for many. Let us hope that regions embroiled in conflicts will find a peaceful way to resolve conflicts and bring about peace. Dear fellow citizens, the period of Amrit Kal is also going to be the period of unprecedented technological changes. Technological advances like artificial intelligence and machine learning have moved from headlines into our daily lives at a breathtaking speed. There are numerous areas of concern in the foreseeable future, but there are also exciting opportunities ahead, especially for youth. They are exploring new frontiers. We need to do all we can to remove hurdles from their path and let them unleash their full potential. What they want is equality of opportunity. What they want is not the same old rhetoric of equality, but the realization of our cherished ideal of equality. It is, after all, their confidence that is building the India of tomorrow. Moreover, the mind of youth is shaped by teachers who are real architects of the nation's future. It would also like to make a thankful mention of our farmers and laborers who toil silently and make a mighty contribution to creating a better future for the nation. On the eve of this auspicious occasion, India also gratefully salutes the members of our armed forces, police and paramilitary forces, without whose valor and vigil we would not have escaped the great heights we have. Before I conclude, let me offer my greetings to the members of judiciary and civil services, my Republic Day greetings to the officials of Indian missions abroad and diaspora community. Let us all dedicate ourselves to serve the nation and fellow citizens in every way we can. My best wishes to all of you on this endeavor. Thank you. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.